Are you okay? There,
Yeah, cat attacked me.
your cat attacked you. This screen has This screen hasn't been updated. Okay, well, I'll do some quick background updates. Hello there, folks, and welcome to session 96 of the Grrrl Squad. I am your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quests here on Twitch. And with me today, most definitely in the correct positions and not at all messed up by my inability to perceive the fact that, oh, we haven't updated the screens, is my cast. We have with us today AK Warlock, we have got Ellie the Small, and we've got Attack on Morgan. I forgot to breathe halfway through that sentence. We're off to a great start here, folks. We do have some housekeeping that I would like to make everybody aware of. Welcome to the Academy. Our next up-and-coming mini-campaign has had its first session 0. It's definitely it's looking like it's going to be middle of April before we do like a release. After Sunday, I'm going to start posting more information about it. Some NPCs for you guys to already be coming in and having a kind of basic knowledge of it, and some little tidbits here and there. If you want to see any of that, go and check out our Twitter, which is at World Tree Quests. You'll be able to see all the information for that there, and you might even get a sneak wee peek of some of the players. Other than that, I don't really have any housekeeping. Oh, I will make it aware. There was a miscalculation on my part for any of our UK watchers. We are not going to be going to usual times for anybody in the UK and outside of the US, really, this Sunday, but it's the 31st. So all of our streams outside of America will be an hour earlier for anybody in Europe, UK, or basically outside of America. There's just so many cats going on all over the place. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. That's really all the housekeeping that I have. So, yeah, now I get to my favourite question that I absolutely love asking, and you can never tell me that I don't. Guys, what happened last session?
Well, last session there was a lot of talking. A lot of figuring out what we're doing. A lot of catching up with people.
Mm-hmm.
Each character catching up with each other. But most importantly, we have a plan of attack. We were just about to step through a portal to the human capital. We were going to go speak with the two kings, the deposed king who is in the jails, and Klopp, the current king, to figure out certain things. And then we were going to disguise Lorelei. Sorry, my cat is on something today.
Your cat is allowed to be on something. He's a joy.
Also, I'm so sorry if I blew out anyone's eardrums screaming. Her claw caught my shoulder. Anyway, we were gonna go disguise Lorelei so we can go speak to that like a assassin group.
The Shades.
It's like the Dark Brotherhood. The Shades. Thank you. And then we were going to send an invitation to Lorelei's twin sister to meet us at Lord Koyokoko's house. And then we were going to go fight a dragon. And I think that was the plan that we had made up.
That was pretty much it, yeah. Yeah, that was it. I don't think there was anything else really planned. We had just did a little brief shunt to Shoremont, and you guys were getting about ready to gus folk up after speaking to some deposed king who was, completely mind devoid for a fair wee while. So, yeah, that is pretty much everything. Very well done. Thank you very much for that, AK. So I guess what we start with here is where we left off. Now, you guys had started off as arriving Shoremont. What do you guys want to do first from here? What's the first step? Are we disguising Lorelei and then moving? Or are we moving and then disguising Lorelei?
I thought we were going, because we were going into Shoremont, landing inside of the palace.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yep.
And then we were going to go directly to the deposed king.
Uh-huh.
So do we need to disguise Lorelei for that part?
So no, it's just because I know that after you speak to the previous king, Petar, that you will be going out. I was wondering if you wanted to get Lorelei disguised, go speak, then go, or speak to the king, get Lorelei disguised, and then go out into Shoremont. So I just wanted to see what the logistics of it were.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you guys are making your way to speak to to the previous king, Petar first, then that's definitely something that's possible. And because it's still on the grounds of the palace, it's not necessary to disguise Lorelei yet. But that's up to you. That's up to yourselves. It is whatever you guys choose to do first.
I think the plan was to disguise her afterwards, because we were also going to talk to Klopp as well.
All right.
To see what the dragon situation was.
Okay. So, just heading into the dungeons of the palace then. Okay. You guys are more than familiar, or at least Alys would be completely familiar with the layout of this palace. Having been here a handful of times. Several times when Petar was king. So you're in complete know of the kind of layout of the place. So the teleportation circle brings you into that kind of main foyer area, and the area here it's changed significantly. There's not as much grandeur. It's less polished gold adornments and just back to very simple, still highly polished, but more oak. Okay, so there's less, I guess, shouldn't say less grandeur. I should say it's less frivolity. There's less, oh look, here's gold for the sake of gold. It's more like, if this is old and it has gold on it, fine, cool. But this picture frame is no longer embellished in gold. It's just a simple, polished, oak frame. Okay? Which, while some elves would have an issue with that because an oak tree was cut down for that, it's not as bad as, just having, for instance, a gold toilet for the sake of having a gold toilet. From here, you would know that taking the corridor leads into kind of deeper into the palace, not going to any of the wings, just going deeper into the actual body of the palace. Rather than going up the two long staircases, going to the staircase through the doors beneath them, that takes you to the dungeon. The temperature and ambient change in the dungeon is instantaneous. As soon as you begin going down those stairs, it's colder for a start. There's not as much of a pleasant air about it. Lots of creaking wood, and for some reason, despite it being underneath the palace, when you get past the 40-foot staircase down and then the next 40-foot staircase down after that, the sound of dripping is there. And it's that kind of dripping that there's never an immediate, oh, it's coming from that direction. It's just in any of these kind of prisons or cells or dungeons that you have underneath palaces, there's always a drip somewhere. Two guards stand next to a completely sealed metal door. The rest of the cells along these walls are just your typical bars on stone walls. Wooden floors, so like, you know, there is some modicum of comfort. It's not hard stone floors, there is wooden floors, but very little else. Two guards watch as you all approach, and they don't get ready to attack, but you do see, like, you know, they hold the shields a little bit higher, their hands grip their halberds a little bit tighter. Sira and Lorelei, you guys can roll an insight check if you wish. Alys, I would let you roll an insight check here, but you would get advantage on it because of situations before.
I would like to note, even though we haven't like disguised Lorelei yet, they are like wearing a cloak with the hood up.
Of course.
Just
to be safe.
Just because their hair is such a dead giveaway.
Oh, absolutely. Completely understood.
We're just gonna disguise you as like another willow wind. Like no one will know.
They kind of are already. Anor basically was like, "You're my favorite." And Lorelei was like, "Okay."
Alys doesn't know that.
Not to take away from Lorelei's very, very own identity, but one of the easiest disguises you could give somebody with that vibrant red hair would just be minor illusion. They're a wood elf. It's a willow wind cousin.
Yeah.
Insight checks. Lorelei, Sira.
17.
That's a disgusting, slutty little 20.
Damn. Buy at dinner for shit.
Such a forward little 20.
I would like you all to know I did roll a 6 on the die.
Oh my god.
I love when you
Even
get
better.
to these levels of D&D and it's like, oh damn, I rolled really bad. How's a 27?
Yeah.
I used to love it with my fighter barbarian and be like, I'm in combat, like rolling and going, oh damn, man, like I hate rolling below 10s. 23?
Does that hit?
Does a 23 hit? You're not fighting a dragon, so yeah. Okay, and Alys, what did you get on your advantage roll?
27. I know we just made that joke, but...
I know, right? Sira, Lorelei. Mm-hmm. There is definitely tones of recognition on their face as they see Alys. If, you know, if stunted for like a second or two, as obviously Alys has changed their haircut. Mm-hmm. But it's when they see you two that their hands tighten. They're not sure of exactly who you are. Alys, as they look at you and you see the glimmer of recognition, but they still tighten onto it. You would remember that there was a point where it was believed there was doppelgangers within every single every single government, every single place of importance, and on top of the fact their king turned out to be being, you know, what's the word, a double agent. It's clear that like all levels of security are being taken here. You could walk up here with the entire Willowwind family line in succession behind you. They'd still be like, ID, mother's maiden name, what was your first pet's name? Like, you know, that they're going to ridiculous levels of security. Always remember, folks, do not ever give your passwords to anybody. They will never ask for them if they're actually representative of the company that you're dealing with. But for these guards, definitely give your password. They're not letting you see the king without it. And your social security number, which we call a national insurance number. I wonder why that is.
Gee, I wonder.
It's almost like we're being ripped off. I'm not going into my government conspiracy theories because they go so deep. You approach these guards. The guards, as you get to about maybe 15 feet away, they cross their halberds over each other, presenting it. So like one of them is holding the halberd in their right hand, the other holding it in their left. The shields also mirroring, so that as they cross the halberds, they can both pull the shields in together, so that they're touching and forming a closed wall. Sorry, that's the doorbell.
Okay.
They then call, one of them is going to call out to you, Alys. It's going to say, we know who you look like, but we need to know who you are why you're here, and if you intend any harm. And he's then going to look to the ground, showing just like 5 feet in front of you a very recognisable circle, as a zone of truth is here on the floor and on the ceiling.
Okay.
And it's very evident, given the insight checks, I'm going to give you this detail as well, that as that said, they're intending for you to step into that circle.
Alys will step into the circle.
Do you want to make the saving throw, or are you going to choose to willingly fail?
She's gonna choose to willingly fail.
Okay.
Like, she's like, I know, I understand. Like, I have to do this.
Okay.
And she's not trying to hide anything right now. So, Alys Sarah Willowend, Queen of the Varden Vale and the Starlight Woods.
Starlight
I'm
Woods.
trying to remember all
Starlight
the
Woods.
titles. Yeah.
Mother of Dragons,
she-
first of her name.
First of her name.
Yeah. She gives all of her ridiculous titles, and then it's like, we're here to get some answers. We're here to speak to the deposed king. That's the reason we're here, right, guys?
Yes.
Sira,
This is
my
Ellie
secret
out of
plan
character.
has hatched. Waha! Okay, yeah, the circle does not go off. That is, of course, your intentions here. And they kind of make a head jerking motion saying that, okay, you can come forward. They look to the other two of you and they go, without knowing your faces, same questions.
Sierra will step forward.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want to make the saving throw, or do you want to willingly
No.
fail? You're going to willingly fail. Okay.
this one's gonna be fun because I'm. Cerithus Glacierheart, former advisor to Soulsheart and the Emperor Valerian. Current ally to Queen Alicera Willowend, and I am here to ask the previous king some questions with no harm intended.
There is no big bang, no glimmer of light, no big red X above your head as you're telling the truth. And they give you a nod that you're able to step forward. Now we come to you, Lorelei.
Yeah, Lorelei.
If there wasn't a zone of truth, I would lie. But
It's almost like I gave you something to combat that.
Mm-hmm.
Ring of Mind Shielding.
I think Ring of Mind Shielding actually does work against the Zone of Truth.
Magic.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Perfect.
Alys is gonna be like standing behind them and be like, remember the ring.
Because you would have seen Lorelai see that zone of truth and been like, and is like, oh, great. So because I have this ring on, when I step into the zone of truth, do I still have to make the saving throw? Because it basically keeps them
from
from
being unable to discern
knowing
you
if
are
I'm lying.
So you can,
Yeah.
you can roll the saving. So basically how it works with it is you can roll the saving throw. If you succeed, you can lie, they won't know.
Great,
You won't need
great.
to make a deception check. They won't know if you lie or not. But you can choose to willingly fail, at which point you'll be telling the truth. It's up to you.
I'm gonna do the saving throw.
Okie dokie, that's absolutely fine. So the saving throw for a Zone of Truth, I believe, it's a charisma save. Yep, charisma saving throw, please. Oh, the bard with the charisma saving throw. I wonder how this will go.
Alright, I'm gonna use my Sam Regal dice. Don't fuck me, Sam Regal. You kind of fucked me. Okay. That's a 14.
14.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so
No advantage because of the ring.
no, the ring doesn't give advantage, I'm afraid.
I know. I was just like,
So a 14 is actually beats it. It's cast at a 4th level.
Oh fuck! Thank God. Oh my God. Great.
So you feel the energy of that zone of truth rise up, but you feel it. It's almost like I don't know if this is a term or phrase in the US, but whenever you get that weird shiver up your spine, somebody goes up, somebody stepped in your grave.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard that
Right,
before.
okay. So it's like that, but it doesn't quite reach like the upper chest area.
Yeah.
So you are aware that this has not taken effect. I can lie.
I like to imagine the reasoning is because Lorelai knows this spell so well. They had it as a cleric. They still have it as a bard. Like, they know the ins and out of this spell. And so they know how to get out of it. And so they step forward. Because these guards are, like, very... very wary, Lorelai would take down the hood of the cloak.
Okay.
And we'll just look at them and go, oh, hello, I'm Dolores, and, I don't really have any fancy titles like them. I'm just here to help in any way that I can.
And as there is no big red X that pops up above your head, as there's no way that can be discerned if you are lying or not, they look and they just nod you forward, assuming that all is well. As I also did look at their passive perceptions, and I don't think that's enough to notice a ring. So.
Nope. As Lorelai like walks past and rejoins Alys and Siras and just goes, oh.
Siras just gonna like put her arm around their shoulder as if like nothing's wrong. Pat them a little bit and just like keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
They perform a series of knocks on this metal door. 3 quick knocks, 2 spaced knocks, and then 2 quick knocks. And the door is slid open, and inside is a domed room. Until you step like into it, and then it's a completely spherical room. Think it's got a long
Magneto.
Think like Professor X's Cerebro room, right? Big spherical with a big long walkway. At the end of that walkway, separated by a 5-foot gap, is a suspended cage. The cage is obviously chained in place by a chain coming from each corner. And inside there is a haggard looking man. You could easily assume that he's late 40s. But Alys should be more than aware that he's barely touching his 30s. He has this long beard that was once this beautiful honey golden blonde, but now it's turned into that almost like off-white cream colour. The same with the hair, which once probably sat maybe about a similar length to yours as it is now, Alys, but is now proceeded well beyond that, hanging below like his upper torso. And he's very thin, very emaciated, gaunt looking. The man looks haunted. He looks like his eyes are that kind of like wide that they don't actually look as if they have any kind of eyelids to them. They're just wide and bloodshot as if he has not slept. And he sits on the edge of like a bed with his hands clasped and his elbows resting against his knees. And as the door opens and he looks up, he sees your face, Alys. And you see there's a hard swallow. And he stands up and he makes his way over to the cage wall. And he just stands there. He puts his hands behind his back as if he's trying to show some kind of regality, but it's any confidence on this man is very much false confidence. Mm-hmm. The door slid shut behind you, and before it does close behind you, a voice kind of says, "When you're ready, just tap the door 3 times and say that you want to leave. And then the
Thank you.
Then the doors close behind you, leaving you alone in this. The only sound here is the sound of occasionally the hinges of these chains creaking from Petar's shifting weight in the cage.
Lorelai would turn to Alys and Siras and go, I'm not going to be much help in asking questions because I don't really have any idea what's going on here. But I think I can do something to help.
Okay.
Pull out my my paintbrush with the ring that you both know is how Lorelai does their magic.
Mhm.
And is Petar within 60 feet of me? Yes,
of you
I
right
imagine
now?
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
The walkway is only 40 feet and he's only 5 feet away from the end of that, so
Sure.
he's 45 feet away from you.
Sure. Take out my paintbrush, and on the ground in front of me, Lorelai is going to draw a circle that's 15 feet in radius, and you all would see it kind of glow gold and then disappear, because the circle is then going to appear around Petar. I'm casting Zone of Truth.
Okay?
That's probably easier than what I was gonna do.
Petar is going to, more out of panic than anything, try and make the saving throw.
Sure. I do know whether he succeeds or fails on it.
It's going to be a fail with a dice roll of a 2, even with his charisma save.
Okay. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Lorelai will...
Even with his charisma
You're
save
fine.
of a plus 11, I'm assuming that that's a 13 is not going to pass.
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, he does fail, and as you see him kind of like jerk to make that save, you see runes suddenly flash into place on his bare arms and on his neck, which almost like as if he's about to try and resist, they seem to almost like tase him, and he rolls up with disadvantage.
Gran, with a passive perception of 26, do I see black veins on him anymore?
No, you don't. Thank you for letting me know about your passive. Passive perception is a 26. Is everybody got kind of in that ballpark area with a passive perception?
I have a 29.
I'm the lowest out of the 3.
Okay, so if that's the lowest out of the 3, then you'd all be able to see it. There's none of the black lines, and there's none of the black veins from his mouth and such, but were those that are exceptionally overcome with the darkness, much like his chosen champions were. It's almost like it left cracks on them, where you can see behind. It's almost like the cracks were as if like the skin had split, so it looks as if there's actual like scars around their eyes, almost as if like the darkness has tried to push its way out and has split the skin. That's what causes almost like the cracks and fissures to appear. So there is healing wounds around his eyes, as if the skin has split from something pushing out. But there's no veins, nothing like that. It does not look like the darkness has a grip on him anymore.
Cool. Sierra's going to step forward and bow slightly. Even for one disposed, you're looking rough around the edges.
He just looks at you, Sierra. He has nothing really to say to that.
And then she's going to cast Prestidigitation on him and clean him up.
Okay. So you cast Prestidigitation, the almost like sackcloth garments that he's wearing, any stitches on them, like loose threads and such burn away. They don't, like, any rips on them don't mend because that's mending. But you know, any stains on them disappear. Any of the dirt in his hair disappears. He becomes clean as you cast that. Let me just make a quick roll here. Okay. Lorelei, Alice, anything that you guys would like to do?
Lorelai would have just turned to Sarah and Alice and been like, okay, he can't lie now, but he can refuse not to answer what you ask him.
That's fine. I have something that we can use if that's the case.
And then Lorelai would have just kind of stepped back, and is sort of letting them take over. They have no idea about any of this, so they're like, I did what I could. And so they've kind of just stepped back and are sort of just in the back, kind of just listening.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Lorelei. Alice, anything that you would like to do?
Let me see. I mean, Alice doesn't really have any spells or anything like that. I mean, she does, but she wouldn't use it yet. It would be more like she might use it a little later.
Okay.
So for now, like, all she would do is step forward, and as long as everyone else has like done what they're going to do and preparing and everything, she'll step forward and Pedar.
Before you start speaking, before you start speaking to Pedar, in your mind, you're gonna hear Sira say, "If he refuses to answer, I will cast sleep on him and read his dreams."
I was going to detect his thoughts. But okay.
I'm sure someone like him has nightmares of the things that he has done.
True. All right. And then that's when Alice would step for him. Pedar.
And he speaks, and when he speaks, it's obviously his voice sounds very, very rough, very ragged. You look different. The new hair suits you.
Oh. Thank you. It was time for a change. From what I've heard, you would know why.
I believe I'm quite unfamiliar as to why. Whatever it was, it suits you.
Thank you. Bran, wasn't he kind of working with Alicera?
He was working with the darkness. The darkness influenced Alicera's decision. But Pedar...
Okay.
As far as evidence has shown, and by him saying this right now, Pedar had no direct knowledge of Alicera, nor of what her plans were.
Okay, interesting. I see. I once considered you a friend. What led to this?
Necessity. I was promised. And he grunts as obviously pain as he tries to speak. And he goes over and he grabs like a wooden cup. And he drinks from it before coming back over and clearing his throat again. I was promised the return of my wife. So I took what risk was needed to bring her back.
I can understand that. What do you think she'll say when we bring her back?
I I don't know. You'd have to find her first. I can only imagine she'll be disappointed.
I'm assuming he took her.
Someone who worked for him, definitely. But I don't know if Kesselys himself has her.
As a player, I don't remember why we're coming to talk to him, so I don't know what we're asking.
To get information on Kesselys to see if he
Yeah.
knew any of the plans.
Mm-hmm. If it could possibly ease some of that disappointment. If and when we found her, would you help us?
You're asking me if I would potentially jeopardize the deal that I had with Kesselys in order to double-cross him.
In order to help us bring her back.
Are you telling me that you're willing to go where he keeps those he takes? You're willing to go there and bring her back?
We've all lost many people, and I have reason to believe he might, or like once he is gone, they will be returned to us. So if you help us with any knowledge we need to get rid of him.
A trace of thought crosses his face. And on that, excuse me a moment, Astrid seems to be having a temper tantrum right outside my door. So I'm going to go and figure out what's going on there. Excuse me a moment, folks.
Yeah, no worries. How am I doing, guys? I'm not good at it. It's been so
You're
long
good.
since I've been Alys.
You're good. If you need me to step in, just
Yeah.
You're doing so good.
Also, I love it when my little plans actually work
Yeah,
in a large
it's so
scheme of
brilliant.
things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
love
I just gave that to you just in case we ran into one of those those Templars or whatever they are.
Night Chaplains, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yep. I was like, cool. I'm just gonna lie to them and give them some made up name because I don't want people knowing that I'm here. And then Brian was like, "There's a zone of truth," and I was like,
Yeah, I
The
was
little
trying to
things.
figure out, like, okay, how do we do this? Alys was behind them and was like, I could knock them out. Like,
I before the ring, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna say the basics. I'm just gonna give my first name, and it was very much gonna be a thing of I'm just here to help, and like that was gonna be it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you weren't lying about the help. You just lied about your name.
Exactly. I just lied about my name.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that, folks. Astrid was having a wee meltdown right outside the front door. I just wanted to make sure
Aw.
nobody thought that I was, that she was screaming for any other reason other than she's a 2-year-old, and
Yeah.
a backpack was not going on her back.
Classic.
And then I went there and I put the backpack on her back, and what did she do then? Screamed because she didn't want the backpack on her back.
She wanted to do it herself.
I love 2-year-olds. I love their temper tantrum behaviours.
It's
No
crazy
logic,
that she's
just
two.
feelings,
It's
just
crazy that
emotions.
she's 2. No, like honestly, 2-year-olds fascinate me in the most amazing ways, because like, I am screaming because this window won't open, and you open the window and they go, why did you open the window, you monster? It's like, I want juice.
2-year-olds are just cats.
I want juice, give them juice. How dare you hand me juice? Honestly, I love it.
Like, I didn't want
No
this
logic,
juice.
just emotions.
So sorry. So you present this to him, and a look crosses his face. He's obviously considering it. Could you make me a persuasion check, please, Alys?
Yes.
Persuasion.
Okay. I will say I'm very glad for some of the things that you get, like, as a high-level rogue, like Alys is. Yeah. So I will say I rolled a 5 on the dice.
Okay.
But because of, I can't remember what it's called.
Reliable talent. You can't roll below.
Reliable talent. Yeah, so it's a 25.
Fucking rogues. Okay, yeah, cool, absolutely fine. Let's make the roll, just in case. Don't you just love choice nat ones? This man shows a lot of emotions on his face. Mostly negative emotions, sadness, heartbreak, disappointment, hatred even. But when you say this, there's a flicker of something in his eyes as you say something which sparks a little bit of hope. And he says, I tell you his plans only when you bring her back. But I can tell you where he keeps them and how to get there.
Do you know if that's where he keeps all of them? Or just her?
I know that's where he keeps what he calls the important ones.
Alys is going to look back at Sierra and Lorelei as like, well, what do you think?
Sierra's not going to speak out loud, but Lorelei will hear this as well. That is more information than we've had in some time. I believe that will suffice for now.
I mean, will we be able to get her back if she's being kept by Alys or people that work for him? I mean, it's not going to be easy. Is that something that we can do?
I mean, we've done some pretty ridiculous things before. I mean, maybe I'm a little overconfident, but like...
I believe if we call in favors with friends, we may be able to do it.
Also true.
Okay.
Alys turns back to him. If you give us any and all information you can about where it is, what we'll need in order to get in and out, who we might expect to encounter, any information that will help us, then yes.
You'll need a small force. Anything large will be detected and immediately it will be turned. It will be shifted. It will be overcome.
By the darkness.
when you say the word the darkness, he visibly pales. But he nods, as if he's too scared to say the actual words.
Okay. Just fair.
From there, when you cross the threshold, anything spoken out loud, he'll hear. Nothing can be spoken out loud. He will know. He'll hear it. And then he'll wake it up.
It. Alice's immediate thought is going to the Jabberwock. He's like, it? What's it? What?
Something dark in those bowels that he found. Some kind of protector. But it too was overcome.
Okay.
At the heart. That's where he keeps them. Close to it. You'll have to move quietly. Don't draw any attention. Do you have a map?
Like, is he talking about like a world map or like a regional map or like
Could be anything.
a map of where?
A map of a tumor.
Do we have a map of a tomb?
We do in the war room.
Yeah. We have one, but not with us.
I can draw one if you need one.
Okay. He'll look at you, Lorelai, and he'll say, just needs the basics. Just to give
Okay.
a location.
Well, I will pull out their sketchbook
Okay.
and we'll pull out Are there pencils in this world? Quill, whatever the word is.
charcoal. Like charcoal.
Yeah, Lorelai would pull out charcoal. Thank you. I was
No
like,
problem.
He was like, what do I use to write with?
what do I use? Well, because Lorelai, like, here's the thing, Lorelai mostly paints, but I'm like, they're not gonna paint this.
Does this
Lorelai
world
would pull
have
out charcoal.
graphite? Does this world have something such as a biro? No, so it would be like charcoal would be your typical writing implement. Ink
Yeah,
and
Lorelai
quills
would
is
pull
when
out
you get like
charcoal.
kind of middle class.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Pull out the charcoal and do sort of a basic map of a tumor.
I'm not going to have you do like a tool check for that one because he's asking for the basics. You're an accomplished artist, like it's the basics. It's like going up to Van Gogh and going, "Hey, roll me a skill check to see if you can draw a stick man." You know,
Even with the one, he can.
Even with a nat one,
Listen.
even with a nat one, that stick man's get more definition than I can put in any drawing I've ever drawn in my life.
Brad, if you want me to do a performance check, I can. I have a plus 16, so
Please have Lorelai do a performance check. I need to know how detailed
Do
they
you know
make
what?
it.
For the shits and grins, roll me the performance check. Just watch the nat 20. Watch the
yeah,
nat
let's
20.
go.
It's like a perfectly detailed map of a tumor. She was like, I said the basics, but okay. Like,
Okay, you know, it could be better. It's a 22.
man.
So you
Really?
only rolled a measly 6.
Yeah.
God's sakes, Lorelai, pick up your fucking game.
Come on, we're trying to do something here.
On the
Dude, I know
casual,
my dice are not rolling great today.
on the casual dice roll of a 6 giving a total of 22. Lorelai, you've got fucking mountain ranges, forest pathways, you've even got little
Yeah.
annotations of like, we've been here all over this map. You've even taken the liberty of drawing a little arrow that says you are here. Pointing at Sean.
100%. And Lorelai will pass it through the bars with the charcoal and go, I didn't have a ton of time, so but I think this will work.
Didn't have a ton of time.
I don't have a ton of time, so I just did the basics, turned it round, and it's got like the compass in the bottom corner.
More detailed than any map that you can actually buy at a store.
There's like little sea serpents drawn in the water, like uncharted waters were marked with sea serpents. It's like there's like that drawn in there and shit. Islands that haven't been discovered yet. Lorelai's went, an island there would be cool.
just thinking about it, and they're
The
right.
moment Lorelai draws it, an island just out of nowhere just appears in the middle of the ocean.
They draw some animals, like these animals would be cool on this island.
Yeah.
Somebody comes, whose horse is that? That's not a horse.
Suddenly the centaur race has been made.
Yeah, anyway, so the map that you've drawn is ridiculously detailed. Very, very detailed for being such a basic sketch. And he's going to take the charcoal and he's going to mark a location that's right in the middle of the Iron Mountains, which is the Iron Mountains is the mountain range to the east, which completely borders Solanus and separates it from the Shifting Sands. Now, Lorelai, I don't imagine. Actually, I know for a fact you haven't been anywhere near the Iron Mountains, but it's fairly common knowledge what they are. The Iron Mountains is the largest mountain range on the continent of Valorna, which is the main continent of this world. It is home of all 4 of the Dwarven nations' kingdoms that are born under the mountain. It's a direct link into the Underdark. The tunnels that weave beneath the roots of these mountains go so dark that they touch into the Underdark.
Yeah, no. I haven't been. I've been in the border mountains, but not the Iron Mountains.
It's been
Alice has been in. Oh, sorry.
Alice has been in the.
Okay.
Sierra's been in there too.
Yeah,
That's what I was
because
thinking.
Alice, you've been to Forgeheart, which is the Forgehem, sorry, which is the capital city of dwarves right now because the ruling king is a Forge dwarf. Sira.
That's where Sierra met Tommy.
Yeah, Sira has been. Sira has been on the outskirts of Stonehem, which is in the tops of the mountains. They've not actually been direct in Stonehem. They've been in Forgehem, and funnily enough, they've also been on the outskirts of Dwemhem, which is the home of the Dark Elves. But they've never the Dark Dwarves, sorry, Deep Dwarves. But they've never actually been in the Deep Dwarf city either, because they just skirted the outskirts of them. But funnily enough, as you say that, Sira, where he marks, you know that location.
It's where the dragon was, wasn't it?
It's certainly in the location of where the iron vaults were.
Yep. Where I pulled a fucking Aladdin.
Where you pulled an Aladdin.
And it was still one of the best ideas I've ever had.
Right next up to the sword thing and the Alice and Dreamland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once he's finished with the map, I'll take it back and I'll hand it over to Alice and Sierra and go, you probably know this better than me. I haven't been there yet.
What he's basically
Sierra's gonna point.
What he's basically marked on it is he's marked like just like a black dot of like the location, and then drawn an arrow pointing down next to it, suggesting that it is deep. It is deep, deep down.
Sierra's going to point to a peak that's just like adjacent to it and go, that's where I found Tommy.
Okay.
Cool.
So I do know that location a little bit.
Great.
Right.
He's also going to say, there are things under those mountains sins, monstrosities, abominations. Be careful. They do not take kindly to unwelcomed guests.
Well, we don't take really kindly to people being kidnapped, so.
We don't.
Is there anything else you would like to ask of the deposed king?
I had something and then I forgot it, so I'm trying to remember.
It's the best kind of something to have.
Yeah. I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine.
Something.
Lorelai would go, what does your wife look like?
He reaches up, like into, like, you know, kind of like reaching into the shoulder of the kind of sackcloth tunic that he's wearing, and he pulls out what you can easily make out to be like a scrap of like canvas, which has been obviously carved from a picture frame, and he's going to unfold it, and he's got the he's obviously had somebody cut the face of the queen consort Lydia from there, and you know, as humans go, very, very regal countenance, but a very, very kind face has been painted here. In fact, Lorelai, since you're the one that asked, and given your background of art, specifically in painting,
Sure.
I would like you to make me an insight check.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, that didn't even move it in the tower. Okay. Okay. Insight.
Yes, please.
25.
So on a 25.
Wait.
Oh,
No,
wait.
wait. Am I stupid? Hang on. I'm bad at math. Give me a second. No, that was right. Yes, 25. Okay.
On a 25. Whoever painted this, either they had incredibly good understanding of how someone's facial structure should work, or they painted something very genuine. Like, there's no, oh, this person's smile comes out actually quite menacing, so I'm going to have to make it look nice.
There's no Henry VIII thing.
No, there's no AI. There's no AI art that's been used here. Okay, the hands look great.
Good.
They look like hands. They don't look like...
I'm just glad people appreciated my joke.
Yes, it was a good one.
The smile looks like she wore this smile. It's not like this person has this person smiles like Lucius Malfoy, so I've got to kind of work this a little bit. No, it's a very genuine smile. She has these kind of rosy cheeks again. You can't really tell if that's something that's been put in the painting or not, but the kind of complexion, that kind of very stereotypical peaches and cream complexion, really does suit her. The countenance of it seems to fit her face in a very natural manner. And the hair that's been painted in is this very kind of deep auburn. To anybody seeing her in person, they would probably pass her off as being like a brunette, but the artist has definitely woven in tones of red and tones of like a burnt orange into the kind of like the bottom parts of her hair, where the colours are all lighter there, as if there's a passing of light within the image itself. So perhaps she has like auburn hair or brunette hair or whatnot. Either way, the painting that is here shows what you can identify to be a very genuinely nice and kind person. Not someone who is deserving of a fate, like being
Yeah.
kidnapped by the darkness.
I mean, like, to be honest, no one really
Anyone
deserves that fate.
deserves that.
I don't know, man. There's a few NPCs I've made in this campaign that I'm like, "Do you know what? You deserve this."
That's fair. Lorelai would look at that, wouldn't take it, but would just look it over and go, okay. She looks really kind.
She has the kindest heart I've ever seen. If a bee stung her, she'd apologize for the inconvenience.
Bees die when they sting.
I
Yeah. They do.
know. So sad.
That's why they don't sting unless they're threatened. Unlike yellow jackets, who are just
Fuck yellow
assholes.
jackets.
Yeah.
There's actually a really funny image. I'm just saying this because it's came up. There's a funny image on Scottish Twitter. I don't know if you've ever read Scottish Twitter. It's a hoot. Have you seen the one about going through Dunkin' Donuts? I was in America and I was going through Dunkin' Donuts and I asked for 4 Nutella donuts and they said, "These have peanuts in them, are you allergic?" And I said, "Aye hen, because that's what I'm planning, suicide by donut." Scottish Twitter's unhinged. And it was like a zoologist diagram of a bee, and it's like bright colouring in order to blend in with flowers, black stripes in order to correspond and communicate correctly with shifting body patterns, wings which shouldn't operate the way they do, but they're a zoological marvel. Right, and then it goes to wasp, and it's like eyeballs to see who it's been a cunt to, and then it's like and the stinger, it's like stagger. It's great. I'll try and find it. It's just a really, really great image. It's really funny. But basically,
Yes.
Wasps are arseholes, and so are yellow jackets. So are hornets. They provide
Oh,
nothing to this planet. Fuck them. I know they bring.
As
they
someone
actually
who's
do have
been
a purpose,
stung
but-
6 times in my life. Yeah, it
No,
sucks.
no.
Lorelai would just look at him and go, "We're going to bring her back."
I don't know who you are, but for some reason I'm inclined to trust you.
Alice is just gonna be like, "This is Dolores."
And
That's
you
your
get-
cover.
I want you to know that right before you say that, Lorelai would have gone, "No, I get it. I'm a very genuine person." That's Dolores. And Lorelai just goes,
I'm Dolores.
You can trust me. I'm very genuine. Indeed, you are, Dolores. Oh.
It's just
Lorelai just goes, and then just turns and walks away.
If they have a good insight check, I'm screwed.
sorry. I didn't mean for that to be
It's
like
all
such
right.
a funny moment.
Perfect. Perfect.
He tucks the piece of canvas back in to his tunic. And he's going to take his eyes away from you, Alice, looking just kind of like off towards like one of the walls of this place. And he says, "If I could have done it different, I would have. But
I know. Oh, sorry.
no, by all means, if you've got something you want to say, go ahead.
No, let him finish his thought first.
But when your heart beats in another one's chest, and they take that from you, there's nothing you wouldn't do. I won't apologize for what I did because I'm not sorry. Because I would have done worse to see her again.
Okay, that's when Alys will. I know. I understand completely.
We all have regrets. Things that we would do differently. However, because you have helped us, I wish to give you a gift. I can only assume your dreams have been plagued with nightmares. Am I correct?
He gives you this look, this harrowing look. Like, it is very clear this man does not sleep until he falls like unconscious from exhaustion. Like, routinely, this man is awake for like 72 hours straight.
I am going to show you something that I show few. Siras going to drop her illusion.
I'm going to let you see something that no one else sees. What's that? Cthulhu. Okay, so you drop your illusion, you reveal the Mind Flayer. He backs the fuck up. Like,
Yep.
he's pressed against the back wall of the cage.
And she's going to speak like in everyone's mind. I have the ability to manipulate one's dreams. If you will allow me, I will make it so you do not have nightmares.
Make me a persuasion check. This could actually become a really nice wee moment if the dice let it happen.
That's a 23.
Narrowly beating his 22. Sorry, 21.
Which makes sense that he would be like, it's a Mind Flayer though, but...
He is going to step forward a little bit. And in his mind, he speaks to you. In his mind, his voice is not obviously haggard.
He's putting on the haggard voice.
Well, think about it. When you don't speak for a while, your voice gets raspy.
Oh yeah, I know.
And in his mind, he actually says, "How exactly do you intend to ensure my dreams are peaceful ones?" Just realised I accidentally made him sound like Loki, but I'm all here for it. Cool, let's do this.
I like it.
I am what is known as the Scion of Dreams. Admitting, obviously, who she actually is, but changing it slightly. And she's going to kind of push her staff forward. It is with my power that I can push dreams forward. But in order to do so, you will have to allow me to cast sleep on you.
And I won't see any of those things.
Now that I know what your wife looks like, I will push any and all memories you have of her to the forefront.
I'm not even going to have him roll on that. The moment you say that, he's nodding. He's like, yes, please, please, yes.
You will have nightmares for just a moment, but do not worry. Lay in your bed and I will cast sleep.
So he very hesitantly lies down on his bed, which is like a very standard, like, made from wood, single bed, kind of straw mattress, with a very thin blanket. And he pulls the blanket over him. You can see him reach for that picture. and he looks at it, and then he holds it to his chest and he closes his eyes.
Okay. I know my staff doesn't work like this, but Bran, just for cinematic sake, I would like to expend all 4 of my charges in order for his nightmares to essentially just disappear.
I'd say within your purview as the scion of the Deep One, I'd say that could be allowed. I'd allow that. So you'll expend all the charges present in your staff in order to make sure that any sleep he has is no longer plagued by nightmares.
Yes. However, when I obviously cast sleep on him, and he doesn't fight it, so he falls asleep.
Yep.
The nightmare that I'm looking for is when he met Alys.
Okay.
To get a little brief of what happened, and then I am pushing all of her memory, like all of the memories of her, to the forefront.
Okay. Roll me. Well, actually, no. Don't. Actually, yeah. Roll me. Let's call it an investigation check with advantage because of where you are.
Okay.
As in, you are inside his dreams.
That's a 19 plus 5 or 24.
19 plus 5 for a 24. Easily done.
Yep.
19 plus 5 making a 24. There's no memories of him ever meeting Alys. But there's a video. There's an MP4 file. If you click on it, that you do come across a memory, and the reason this memory catches is because it's somebody very evidently channeling the darkness, but it's a man with a staff and very grand and beautiful looking clothing, a hat with a big old feather on it, and a staff which looks part science, part arcane. And he's holding this staff with a metal arm. A very, very beautiful bejeweled. Like, I'm talking like Infinity Gauntlet style. Like, jeweled arm. And he's channeling the darkness through his one biological arm, and you hear, "I can make it so she does not pass. I can give her a new life. Protected by our great and powerful leader. All it requires from you is total obedience." And he's going to gesture to the tapestry hanging behind, which is that of a phoenix, the symbol of Patar's family. And he's going to say, "Would you rise from the ashes of an old world, ready to step forward in a brand new one as its shining beacon?" And he reaches out and puts his hand in this man's darkness-coated hand. And as he puts his hand in it, you see it almost symbiote-like travel up. And you see those familiar black veins and cracks, and the lines appear out of the mouth and such. Unfortunately, you don't recognise the man that he does this to.
That's fine. Alright, with that little bit of information, I'm going to go ahead and just push all memories that he has of his wife to the forefront.
And as you do that and you push away the images of this person and this horrific deal that he stepped himself into, and bring forward the images of his wife, their wedding day, when they first met as children, the awkward balls that they had to navigate as teenagers, and the rigmaroles of, arranged marriages, and but what if my father chooses this girl, then blah 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 blah, all of those kind of things. As you push all of them to the front, his body lying sleeping on that bed smiles as he falls into his first deep and comfortable sleep in a long time.
Bran, just for my knowledge, off of the memory of the guy that he met, was he covered in the black veins as well, or no?
No, he wasn't. He seemed to almost be channeling it.
Heard. That is what I needed to know. That is what Syrah wanted to know. So, that is brilliant. Cool. Syrah's going to pull her illusion back up and look at Alys and Lorelei, and in their minds, I have some information, but we will discuss it elsewhere. But for now, no, and she's going to start speaking out loud on this part. He will no longer have nightmares and will only dream of his wife until we bring her back.
Okay. Thank you for doing that.
Lorelei, I saw your mouth move. I'm not sure if you actually said anything. Your mic's muted. Like it's not connected.
And with that, the bard loses their voice.
Nope.
No.
To be fair, they're a painting bard,
So
so...
leave and come back, maybe? Is your physical mic muted? Did you actually hit that button?
No, nothing
Is it
yet.
working now?
Oh, it's working now! Yay!
Yeah. I just had to disconnect and reconnect. It happens sometimes.
I've had to do that.
Lorelei just said, Syrah, that was so nice of you.
I've done it once or twice before.
Look at Syrah having a heart.
Who knew?
Not all mind flayers are evil.
It's real.
So with the previous King Paetar now falling into a restful sleep, is there anything else you guys would like to do here?
Well, Syrah was about to say, I think we're done here. We should probably check in with Klopp.
One thing Alys was gonna do, because I remembered the thing that she was gonna ask him, but now it doesn't really make sense because he's asleep.
Well, we can always retroact it because it would have been something you were asked in the moment. So
Yeah.
a wee brief jaunt back 30 seconds.
Okay. Just...
In another timeline.
Yeah. So Alys would have asked him, like, are they taking care of you guys? Are they taking care of you? Like, your wounds? Are you in any pain? Other than, I know your throat hurts from not talking.
He'll smile at that, and his exact words will be, "They are treating me how I deserve."
That's not what I asked.
They feel wronged. They seek repercussions. I'm not one to dissuade them.
Well, sounds like we're talking to Klopp. Anyway.
Yeah. Would you be opposed to some healing?
He doesn't say yes or no, just give you a look. He gives you a look like, with your insight, I'll let you know. He's saying, like, if you do, it's your choice, but he feels he deserves some kind of punishment more than just being locked up in a place which is moderately warm and he gets fed 3 meals a day. Like, he believes that he deserves something more, but this is the harshest they would give. So if you choose to heal him, he's not asking you for it, but if you choose to do it, he's saying it's your choice. He's putting it essentially, it's your choice what you see fit that I deserve.
Okay. the reasoning behind like Alice's like asking is like he's helping. Like he is trying to make retribution right now to some degree. And also she can't do any healing, so then she's gonna turn back to Lorelai and be like, do you have anything? Can you help him?
Oh, yeah. Not as much as I used to be able to, but yeah, I can. And pull out my paintbrush. And what are they gonna paint?
A happy face on him.
No, I think it's just like it's just like the first aid symbol.
Okay. I like that.
And we'll just go, I hope this helps. And I will cast Healing Word on him.
Okay. How much do you heal him for?
Let's see. That is 6 points of healing.
Okay. With 6 points of healing, you can hear an audible crack as something cracks back into place. And when he coughs, it's like a great big hacking cough. But once he's done, he speaks again and he's like, I think that's the first pain-free breath I've breathed in about 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There are
I'm glad.
things I deserve more. So I thank you for your kindness. Anything beyond that at all, Alice?
No, that was
No.
the thing. She was just gonna
Okay.
ask if like he's being taken care of and needs
Then
help
we-
at all.
Then we jump back to you guys are now.
Yeah.
He's been put to sleep, and you guys have said that now's your next point is to go and speak to Klopp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With going to speak to Klopp being the next thing, I think now is a decent time to take a wee 15-minute break. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to go and take a wee 15-minute break. I'm going to give my players a chance to rest, grab a drink, grab a snack, brush their nostrils. I don't know what people do on breaks. So yeah, cool. Go do what you got to do. We'll see you guys back in 15 minutes for a conversation with the current king. Lots of king talking today. It's a great time for it. Hello, folks. We're back, and when we left off, we had just left the previous king, Petar, having given him the first restful sleep that he's had in quite some time. I believe next on the docket was to go back up into the actual throne room and speak to Klopp.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but before we do that, I was gonna pull them to like a side corridor, and speak to them in their minds.
Okay.
Before I pulled the memories of his wife to the forefront of his dreams, I did look for a specific memory, and that is when he fell, when he betrayed his kingdom. The man that I saw didn't have the telltale signs of corruption. That means Kesselis has agents who are wielding his powers without the visible signs.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay. Wow. It couldn't have been someone using like
No.
a disguise spell.
I am unsure, but he willfully used the darkness in his hand. And again, I'm not saying any of this out loud, it's just in your minds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I guess we just have to be more careful of everybody.
Yeah.
If we have a suspicion or anything like that, we're just gonna have to talk in our heads. We're not anything important, anything to do with what our mission is to get the Queen Consort back to safety, is not to be spoken out loud.
Yeah.
Lorelai just does.
Yeah, and when Sunflower's back and we fill her in on all of this, we'll be sure and speak of it only in our minds and make sure she knows that too.
Yeah.
She's gonna look at Alys for our safety as well. Until we get to the point where we feel like we can go save her. I don't even think Lunadris or your brother needs to know. We need to keep this between us until that time comes. Are you able to do that?
I can do that.
Lorelai just nods.
I know that will be hard for you, Alys, but we can't rule out anybody at this point.
I understand.
I'm assuming that means that I can't tell Raven, yes? Am I assuming correctly? Okay.
I can look through people's memories and their dreams to see if they've ever had an interaction like that. But that will come later. For now, we keep this between us. Okay.
No, that's fine. He understands missions and secrets, so I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. I can also, if and when we need to, I can also search people's minds while they're awake.
I will say those closest to us, your husband, your partner, will be the first ones included on any plans that we have. That is my suggestion in general. But for now, until we have a plan of attack or have an idea of how we're going to do this.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That's all I had. We can go see the king now.
Yeah.
And she's gonna follow Alys to the throne room.
Mhm.
Or wherever Klopp is.
I will use my action to make the ring go invisible. Because I can do that. Yep.
Smart.
And then I will follow after. Still, cloak, hood up, still trying to like
Mhm.
not be completely noticed.
Oh, you're muted, Bran.
Sorry, I muted so I was clearing my throat.
Ah.
I'm coming on the other end of a cold. Shoremont Palace is fairly simply navigated. So the way I described it is it's like, if you've ever seen like the height of like Renaissance France and French aristocracy, how their palaces are almost like hard U-shaped, where they go these two big long wings and then the actual building at the bottom of it. Shoremont Palace is like that. And as you approach, coming out of it, and you've got the two corridors that lead onto the wings. You've got the two grand staircases that go up, and they lead to the throne room. If the throne room is where you guys intend to go and make your way, you are met with a sight that I don't think actually any of you have actually seen before. Oh no, well, Alys, you would have... Well, no, you wouldn't have seen these doors, but you would know that these are where the doors to the throne room were. But again, much like the rest of this, these beautiful gold gilded doors are no longer there. What is there is just two very simple carved wooden doors. And the shape that's carved into them is that of two rearing stallions.
That's fitting.
As the symbol that Klopp has adopted for his royal insignia is that of a horse.
Of course.
Look, Klopp.
Horse boy.
Horse boy.
I love him. I adore Klopp. Oh man, did anyone tell Klopp that Elis, like,
Oh no, we're gonna have to tell him.
His best friend.
Fuck. Oh, no.
That'll be fun. Okay.
Here we go.
And as the doors open, you guys are presented with, and again, this is the first time it's been described for Siras and Lorelei, so I'm going to go into the descriptions of it for you.
It's been described to me before.
When
Koyo, Coco, and I
that was the council chambers, not the throne room.
Okay. You're right.
Different. So the throne room is marbled. You know, it's obviously it has been like a marble addition onto a large room, but the pillars that are here are polished white marble, very reminiscent of actually like Solanus. The statues that were here before, Alys, as you step foot in, where the statues were like sconces shaped like phoenixes with their wings spread and such, and the throne being shaped like two wings coming up the back and coming down into like two phoenix heads as the armrests. They're all gone, and what is replaced with is the throne is the only thing that seems to be remotely as ostentatious as what Paetar had. It's still like a solid gold and, you know, highly polished mahogany and all that jazz. But instead
mahogany.
It's mahogany. I can't help it that Scottish people say that weird, alright? It's just
No.
No, it's.
I was thinking Dragon Ball Z abridged.
I was thinking Hunger Games.
Mahogany.
I was thinking Hunger Games. Like, that is mahogany. Sorry, Bran.
Not at all. Not at all.
Went somewhere different.
Scottish people say things weird as well. Like I legitimately, there's a Scottish celebrity called Billy Connolly. He's the best comedian in the world. I will not take questions on this. Right? He's the best comedian in the world, and he pronounces it turquoise, not turquoise. Turquoise.
It's a prettier way of saying it. I'll be honest.
Because that's apparently how it's supposed to be pronounced. Quoise. Quaz. And I was like, Scottish people have weird ways of doing that. Either way, the chairs that are here are grand seats designed for people who are coming here to hold audience with the king. Very, very plush. And the raised platform, which Alys, at the point you were here, you remember had 2 thrones, now has 1 throne, as Klopp is not yet married. And you would see, Alys, the last time you seen Klopp, I believe he was about 15 and a half.
Yeah, he was just a little tiny stable boy.
He was just a guy.
Just a little guy.
I think we had just found out he was Owen's brother.
Yes, you had just found out that he was Owen's half-brother. And as you go on, like, he's suddenly, like, he's a man. Like, it's only a year and a half, but he has aged rather quickly. You know, he has, like, the beginnings of, like, stubble on his chin and over his lip. His hair's now about chin length, and he wears this very regal clothing, which instead of the burnished reds and oranges with gold that Petar wore, he's wearing, like, silvers, blues, greys. And as you step in, there's a bunch of nobles kind of crowding round him, and as he sees you guys step in, he just kind of, like, whereas Petar would have done, like, you know, the hand up to call silence and then moved, Klopp kind of, like, literally pushes a noble's face out the way.
I adore him.
And then he's going to look at you and be like, nobles, friends, colleagues, I apologise, I'm going to have to, fuck off. And they'll kind of look confused, at which point Klopp is going to, like, look to the guards, and one of the guards is going to step forward with a face that is very suggesting to the nobles, like, I think what the king is trying to say is that it would be better to rearrange today's audience for a more acceptable time, such as when the king is feeling better from his obvious mood. And Klopp's just going to point to this, obviously, bodyguard of his and go, that. And all the nobles kind of move off with the general tones of, like, I say, so rude, what a despicable young man. That's my best impression of what Tory politicians sound like.
He took our arms.
I call them nyuk nyuks because of how they laugh when they're in the House of Commons. I love how I just use Shoremont politics as a platform to slag off Tories. It's great.
I mean, it kind of tracks.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy on this group of nobles.
Okay.
Wait. Hang on. Let me double check. Just kidding. I'm gonna use minor illusion.
Okay.
Because minor illusion you can do sound.
Right.
And I'm gonna make it so that it sounds like someone is whispering in all of their ears, and it just goes, I would be really careful what you say to the king.
And they'll kind of like, and they'll kind of start grumbling really quietly and poddle their way out. For some reason, I've now got that they all look like that maester from King's Landing who, like, pretends to be older and from. I don't know why I've now just got like, but they all look like that apparently.
All I can think about is the two Muppets that sit up in the stand. And
it's good to be heckling again. It's good to be doing anything again. Yo! I love those guys. I still think that if I ever ran a D&D game and said that all the characters were actually Muppets, that those would be the narrators.
Yeah.
I want to run Curse of Strahd where everybody's a Muppet except Strahd.
Oh my god.
And Strahd is played by Tom Hiddleston.
Are all the players also Muppets, or are they not?
Their characters have to be Muppets. So, like, you can be like, oh, I'm going to be I don't know, what are the frog people?
Grung.
Yeah, I'm going to be a Grung, but your Grung looks like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, if you're a Grung bard, you just are Kermit the Frog.
Yeah. And it's just like, it like points of it as like, as they're reading out the parts you've got to read out. The castle of Ravenclaw loomed ahead. I didn't even know it loomed. Oh! And it's like, just have all that shit. Coming up next on World Tree Quests.
Oh my god.
Muppet one shot.
Strahd's actually the Swedish chef. He gets a nat 20 and goes chicken in the biscuit. 2 points, port.
But anyway, back to this.
What is this? Eventually the nobles are cleared out. And it's just left with the king, his bodyguard standing there. And I would describe this bodyguard to you as a whoa, like focus up please, camera, as a preliminary of what this woman looks like. If you're familiar with the media of Overwatch, she looks like Brigitte. You know, she's about She's about 6'5". She is broad, like real. And I'm not talking
Step on me, mommy.
I'm not talking like Karlach broad, because Karlach is broad and has those very obvious curves. I'm talking like she is big and built. She's built like, oh my god.
Is she Brienne of Tarth?
No, she's not Brienne of Tarth. Oh my god. Oh, how come I can't remember? Oh my god, it's just left my mind. I can see that it'll come back to me, right? So, I guess one thing I would say that's similar between her and Brienne of Tarth is that there was none of this fantasy aspect of, like, female armour. She's wearing plate armour. Like, that is it.
As she should be.
If she had a helmet on, you would not be able to tell this person's gender. Only that they have a big mace and they want to smash your face in.
Good.
I have posted 2 gifs of Brigitte in our chat.
And she has this big heavy mace in one hand and this shield. And she makes it very evident as she steps forward. She's like, he might recognise you, but I don't. So... And Klopp just kind of like looks at her and just like, I got a new bodyguard. Do you want to?
Cool.
Do you want to introduce yourself? And she just shakes her head and he goes, she doesn't want to introduce herself. It's very evident. Like he's like, I know that I'm king. She's in charge.
She's in charge.
She's in charge.
Lorelai just goes, that's fine. And there's little dark purple blush on Lorelai's cheeks.
Oh no. If Ela was here, Ela would be like, I feel right.
I love this happens all the time. If I describe a huge, ripped, built guy, no reaction. If I describe a scrawny little guy with a bundle of books and glasses, swoon. If I describe the typical, very skinny, long, flowing hair of a woman, no reaction. Huge, ripped as fuck woman, and it's...
We're all queer and neurodivergent.
Right. It's like exactly my type, and I don't do that on purpose. I just, every time that I describe a woman as being like, you know, or a female presenting character as being like broad and really strong, I'm just getting in my head like, am I just putting Amy like everywhere? Like, is that what I'm doing?
Yes, you are.
Self-inserting Amy everywhere.
Sira is going to bow, as is customary, and say, Your Highness, Lord Koyokoko sends his regards.
He visibly pales. The last time this man saw Koyokoko was just after seeing him in a dream, where he turned sheep into meteorites.
And he still has that pearl.
He still has that pearl, by the way.
Yeah, so when we showed up to the council chambers when Koyokoko found out that he was a lord, Klopp's first reaction was, oh god, you're real!
That's incredible.
Fucking tremendous. Oh man, Koyokoko, what a legend. Anyway, yes, so he visibly pales when you say it, Lord Koyoko sends regards, and he goes, the crown sends its regards to Lord Koyokoko as well. I hope he's doing well. He doesn't own sheep, does he?
I do not think so. I have not been to his lands in some time, though.
Right, okay.
But I believe he is doing well. I believe he is gallivanting in the Nine Hells at the moment.
That's
You guys see? Oh, sorry.
It's Koyo Coco. That's something he does on occasion.
Yes, it is indeed. Sorry.
Hello.
What did you come here to bring Koyo Coco's wishes, or is there like another reason for you being here?
The
dragon?
The dragon?
Oh, jeez, yeah. Sorry. Mild concussion. And he's gonna lift the crown to show that there is from his hairline back. There's a pretty large bruise on his head.
Oh, I'm gonna cast a healing word on him and just go, oh, that doesn't look good.
Okay, so you cast healing word, and the bruise kind of.
That's 6 points of healing.
6 points healing, so it's and kind of rescinds, and he's. That cleared my sinuses as well. Oh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It'll do that. Of course.
Yeah, dragon.
Dragon.
Right. Sorry, scatterbrained. And he turns to his body and is like, where's the map? The maps. And she kind of looks at him, then looks over to the corner of the throne room where there's a big old war table and is like, maps. And he gets up and he walks towards the map, and she is never more than 3 steps behind him. He gets up and goes 1, 2, 3, and almost in complete synchronicity, as soon as his third foot hits the ground, she starts walking.
Mm-hmm. That's hot. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Someone who's good at their job?
Responsibility.
Responsibility, and could break me over their knee like Bane did to Batman. Huh.
Please. Anyway,
I want her to crush my head like Sparrow's egg between thighs. Okay.
When he gets to the when he gets to the war table, he points just to the west of Shoremont, and then he kind of hedges his bets, and you can see him kind of going was it north or was it south? Before he just kind of generally circles a kind of western area. He's like, somewhere in this 10-mile region, a scouting patrol reported that a village had been burned down. So we went there, we checked it out, and there was nothing left. It was complete carnage for an entire village's breadth. So we poked around a bit more, and we found tracks. We followed them, and we came across a group of these very, very strange dragonborn.
Strange how?
Well, we've dealt with dragonborn before, and they usually move in groups of the same pattern. So red dragonborn travel with red dragonborn, blue travel with blue, green travel with green. There was a multitude of them, all wearing these medallions marked with 5 separate heads, each one a different colour. So and he kind of points at, you can see him kind of point and go, huh. My good and loyal bodyguard here, she recognised it and says that this is part of the cult of Tiamat. And I'd never heard of Tiamat before, so I just decided, okay, who's Tiamat? They sound pleasant. They are not. I was filled in, and I was told that this is not a good sign. So then it was suggested by my, King's Guard that I was with that we conduct an investigation, that we chase them off. Which we tried to do. We failed and we were taken captive. It didn't last long. I managed to escape. But it was just me. But as I left, this thing was the largest thing I've ever seen. Its tail wrapped around the mountain peak. I was at the bottom of the mountain, in the remains of that village, and I could still tell you the colour of its eyes. If you go here, just before the border mountains, there are two standing mountains there. They form like a gateway, an entrance into a valley which leads you through the border mountains. Near the base of the right mountain, there's an entrance, a cave. You go in there, and you take any tunnel that leads you up. And you'll find this thing's lair. And it didn't talk much. But what I did understand, the brief points where it spoke common, it was looking for revenge.
Against what? Or for what?
Give me just a moment.
You're fine. You said 5 heads, and Ellie and I looked at each other and went, "Oh fuck."
I mean, I knew exactly what was about to happen.
I believe Lorelei, I believe, might be able to make the history check. Maybe.
Let's go.
Hold on, let me just find some details first.
If it's what I think it is, Lorelei was there, yes.
Okay, so then in that case, now that I've had that confirmed, which is what I was looking for, Lorelei, would you do me the greatest of honours, please? And could you roll for me a history check?
Let's go. It's a nat 1.
No.
Lorelei, as far as you are convinced, you've never seen a dragon. No, I'm totally joking. What's the total of that?
4.
Okay, so on a 4, you can't fathom an idea as to what a dragon would be wanting to do up here.
Okay.
You can't fathom as to any rhyme or reason, any particular proclivities, like what up here would interest a dragon. You can't bring anything to mind.
Yeah. Lorelei just goes, I mean, why would a dragon come up here for revenge? It just doesn't make any sense.
Bran, I've got a question because
I'm so sorry, guys.
we also dealt with a dragon in the prison.
You did. You dealt with a gold dragon.
Yes.
Yes, you did indeed. So what's your question?
Is that boon still active? Or did we use it?
I don't recollect it being used, so I'm going to use my DM hat and say no. And say yes, sorry. It is still in effect.
Beautiful. Okay. That's all I needed to know.
Okay. So, when you say revenge for what, Klopp's going to go, I don't know, something about his broodmate, his broodkin's mate, his I don't know.
Our fault.
I don't know, but he says that until it is returned, they will continue their reign.
What did we take?
The egg!
I forgot we took it.
I love that. And Lorelai's eyes go wide and they just go, oh no. This is really, really bad. Oh, this is really, really bad. Oh no.
Shira just looks very confused and looks between the two of you.
Oh,
I've been
that's
in a
right.
coma for 6 months. Don't know.
I'm the only one here that knows about this. Oh boy. Oh, I wish Sunflower was here. So we were looking for this secret orc island. We came across a dragon, a green one, and we tried to talk to them. It didn't really work. So we had to fight them, and we won. And then we went through their lair, and Sunflower maybe took a dragon egg.
Oh,
We didn't just want to leave it by itself.
You took a dragon egg.
No. Oh no, this is all our fault, isn't it?
and when you say one, do you mean like deceased?
Lorelai reaches into their bag and pulls out like green dragon scales that they still have.
My God. We fucked up so bad.
I made them into earrings for Luna.
She's the dragon slayer.
Yeah. Oh, this is all our fault. This is all our fault.
So we're returning the egg. Got it.
Well, it's not with us currently.
You said
Where
Sunflower
is
had it,
it?
right?
Yeah. It didn't. Out of character. Didn't it hatch? No, not yet.
It had,
Oh, that's right. Sunflower just like looked at it.
yeah, and the outer layer of it has been taken off.
That's right. So we saw that. Laura will go, yeah, but it's back. It's back in the Varden heart.
Okay, so let me get this straight. It's just the Queen Alys coming out like, you guys stole a dragon egg. I know you were trying to help, but you stole a dragon egg.
No, yeah,
And then
no,
you- And then you put it in my home. And now there's a rampaging dragon going around trying to find the egg.
yeah. To be fair, we weren't sure if there were any other dragons, and I mean, we tried. I think Luna tried to talk to this dragon because we didn't want to fight it. But I mean, then the dragon kind of attacked us, and so we didn't really have another choice.
I'm so jealous you guys fought a dragon without.
It was honestly pretty scary. I I got really, really close to not being here anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
So.
And from what I hear, the one you fought was a green dragon.
Yeah, it was a green dragon, so it was very poisonous. Wait, green is acid.
Green is poison.
Green is poison,
Black
that's
is
right. Yeah.
acid.
That's right. I always get those two mixed up. Yes. Yeah, it was a tough fight.
And
Huh.
red
interesting.
dragons are known for their aggression. As far as I'm aware, green dragons are known for their civility among the chromatic courts. So, if you couldn't get the green one to talk, I don't think this red one's going to be up for a heated debate. Maybe a heated encounter.
It'll be a heated debate.
We also kind of lost our person that can talk to them, so
It's fine. I have something.
oh,
Well, you guys kill the dragon. The group that I was traveling with freed a golden dragon. And we have a boon.
oh,
So, we may end up using that to calm the situation.
oh,
But
Oh,
first, we need the
okay.
egg.
okay. Well, that's back.
And Sunflower will be joining us when she's done doing whatever she is doing. So,
Yes, and she said that she was going to talk to Raven, and I think bring him here since we have to meet with the Shades, and he needs to meet with them as well.
so after that, when we have the dragon egg with us, we can go there. I can call upon the boon that I have with this dragon. And hopefully we can clear this whole misunderstanding up.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't really want to have to kill another dragon unless necessary. And I mean this is all of our fault, so we need to fix it. I mean, not all of our, well, I'm the only one here from that situation, so we need to fix this.
A year and a half ago, dragons were extinct. And now there's now there's a group of them.
Yeah.
It's great being king.
I'm gonna
Yeah, it
cast.
sucks, right?
Lorelai?
I'm gonna cast Sending Sunflower and go, hi. I hope conversation is going well. When you come, you need to bring the dragon egg. We'll explain here. And bring Raven as well. Bye! 25 words.
Nice.
Okay. We will have to wait for Sunflower to answer that.
Yeah.
Lorelai would just be like, okay, Sunflower knows to bring the dragon egg now, so.
I know she was busy, so if it takes her a while to respond, that's fine.
Yeah. She might be in the middle of conversation with Raven, which seemed like it was maybe gonna be a little bit serious, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Now we have that going for us.
Mm-hmm.
Your Highness, is there anything else that we can do for you while we are here? Or is it just the dragon issue that is causing havoc on your lands?
The only real issue we have is that there's a dragon who's very angry. And, well, I don't really have many volunteers ready to go and fight a fully grown red dragon.
That's fair. I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I'm so sorry.
I don't think anybody needs to be sorry. You did not really the right thing, but with the right intentions. Sorry, I can't do this polite speak. You didn't fuck up intentionally, so it's not really like it's a, sorry thing, but we could use some help in getting this situation sorted because we are putting everything we've got into preparing to fight. When he turns up. So I don't know what we can spare when it comes to going to fight a fucking dragon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll look at Sierra and Alys and go, I think we'll probably handle that as best we can.
Mm-hmm. We will.
Majestic.
It's really hard to have this very serious discussion.
Yeah, when there's the cat. I mean, we did it. Well, some of us did it before, so.
And I missed out last time, so I'm kind of excited about it.
Well, hopefully we won't have to fight him because.
Yeah.
He seems like he is angry and very, very large.
Yeah, and I have not as many spells as I did last time, and also I'm not as what's the right word?
Flexible with your spell work.
Yes, but also I'm not as strong. I don't know if that's the right word as I used to be.
Probably magically.
Well, and health wise as well. I didn't realize that breaking my pact would also mess that up. So.
Well, we will see to it. Do I have to call you King? Because, you're Klopp.
I'm not entirely far at which point the bodyguard's going to do. The correct way to address him is Your Grace or Your Majesty.
Yeah, but I'm also a Grace and a Majesty. Can't I just call him Klopp?
Roll me the persuasion check.
Okay.
Let's go.
We'll take the shot. Who knows?
Also, who's going to tell him about Ela?
I'll do it. I got it.
Because you know how close that they were and they would talk
I
to
do,
each other
yes, so
all the
I
time.
got it. Yep, I got it.
Bran, you don't have to roll, I don't think. I got a 33.
Rogues, ladies and gents, and non-binary folks.
Not just rogues, it's specifically Alys is what kind of rogue is she?
Mastermind rogue, I think.
She's not a mastermind, she's a
Inquisitive?
inquisitive, yes.
Inquisitive rogue, that's it.
Good
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
She looks at you, Alys, and you can see her jaw visibly clench. And then she looks at Klopp, and Klopp kind of gives her that look of she's got a point. And she says, if His Majesty has no issue with it, then I can let it stand.
Alys is gonna look back to Klopp and be like, eh?
He's already shaking his head like zero. He hates being called like King, Your Grace, Your Majesty. He's like, a year and a half ago, I was a stable boy hoping to just be like a knight someday. Like,
I used to play with sticks as swords.
Yeah. He had been training to be a knight.
The wee little squire.
Yeah.
he was a squire when you guys met him.
Mm-hmm.
No,
He had-
he was a stable boy who became a squire.
Like he was, so at the point you met him, he was a squire, but he'd begun as a stable boy, so he still held the stable boy's duties. He was still a year and a half away from doing his knightly training, and his knight training would have taken up easily, like 7 years of his life before he would be eligible to be knighted. But yeah, this motherfucker skipped all that, went straight to king.
And he was like, this wasn't the plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you have a meeting at 9 o'clock, you have a new crown fitting at 10:30, and then you have to go and visit all the stables to choose your next horse. And he's like, but I want it to be a dragon.
He's like, can we just go to the stables? Like, can we ignore that other stuff?
Can we just skip
wanna see
straight to the horses? Anyway.
We put this guy on the throne, guys.
This
Great
man
decision.
was placed on the
Really.
throne by this party.
Yeah.
At which point, after admitting that, his bodyguard takes a step back.
Alice is gonna lean into whispering, like, you can just call me Alice, by the way. I also hate the graces and all that.
He's gonna nod to that and be like, now that we've done with the official stuff, I would like to, as king, speak freely. Nervous glance towards his bodyguard, who gives a curt nod. And he will kind of smile a little bit and be like, Alice, I'm really glad to see you back. When we heard about what happened, we were... Well, obviously, it was really, really nervous. I did offer if there was anything I could do, I'd get all the... I mean, we've got the tower over in the Flowers district, you know, that has, like, it's attached to the academy. They've got all the fancy magic users up there. So we spoke to them to do everything, but Ela said this would be something that wouldn't be really fixed straight away. Speaking of which, where's Ela? Is she back in the Vardenvale, keeping everything, like, you know, tied down?
Lorelai's face drops.
Okay, let me just make a quick check.
Yeah.
Oh, that's poor dumb boy. He doesn't understand. Just go ahead.
Sure. Lorelai kind of takes a step forward and goes, and at this point, because it's just Klopp and the bodyguard, would take the hood down and just go, we had to fight somebody, and it was a really hard battle, and we won. But Ela didn't make it. She's with the spirits looking over the forest. So if it helps, she's with her whole family, and she's not alone. But yeah, I'm sorry. We tried everything, but because she wasn't from here.
Lorelai, the moment that you say she didn't make it, can all of you make an insight check for me?
Yeah.
18.
22.
Alys, you're muted.
Sorry, 29.
When you start talking, yeah, sorry, yeah, I could hear you. When you start talking, Lorelei,
Mm-hmm.
His expression shows kind of like confusion, and then it verges to sadness. And then as it kind of drops, his eyes come away from you, and he's just looking at like a spot on the floor. And then it's heartbreak. And this was something that was discussed with Ellie way back, and it was, in fact, I believe it was actually Ellie that brought it to me. Was that it's obvious now that Klopp had a little bit more than friendship in mind when it came to Ela.
Yeah.
And he suddenly looked a lot older than the mere 17 that he is.
Yeah.
Suddenly this 17-year-old is now like, he's no longer just, oh wow, that's a boy king right there doing his best. He is like, he's an old man who has now, or I say an old man, his eyes are that of someone who has not only been engaged in this war, but has now lost something from it.
Yeah.
And you see his whole kind of like demeanour darken a little bit. Oh. I didn't expect that.
I'm so sorry.
They weren't in pain, were they?
No.
No.
Your Majesty, when all of this is said and done, when there is peace in the land, there is a place where you can come and visit, in the forest. The spirits gave her a memorial, if you will, in a tree. I'm sure Alys will allow you free reign to come visit whenever you'd like.
First.
He will look to Alys and like still that look of like just abject heartbreak, but he's like, I would really like that.
Yeah. And the Varden Vale is a living forest. We often say that the spirits can talk to us through the forest itself. I didn't know her personally, which is weird. Anyway, but you might be able to get some kind of closure from her there too.
And I promise that no one is ever gonna forget about her. I'm going to tell her story to everybody.
And her story is going to be immortalized in the White Library in Ulanus.
Because people are only really gone when we stop talking about them.
When you say that, Lorelei, he nods and he's like, you're right. If the White Library in Yulna will hold their story, then so will our courts here. They were my best friend. once this dragon is dealt with, I'll come to the forest and I will pay my respects there.
Lorelai just kind of steps forward and puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, "They were one of my best friends too."
And it's as you put your hand on him that, Lorelai, even you're someone who's quite short. Like they are, they're very barely taller than you. Like, Klopp is like 5'4" on a good day. That boy's still got
short king.
That boy's still got that boy's
literal short king.
He's got like 5 years of growing and growth spurts ahead of him. Like it's not until you put your hand on him. He's a child in a man's position. Like, despite the fact that by human standards in this world, the human age of becoming recognised as a human, varying between different cultural aspects, like the Skaldika have it as 13. Shoremont is generally at 16 years old. You are right now. You decide what you kind of want to do. Like, do you want to go work? Do you want to go study? That kind of thing. He's barely an adult.
Yeah.
And he's got this resolute face as you put your hand on him and he straightens back up. He says, "If that's all that you need me for, I'm going to go and speak to our historians. And I'm going to get this started."
Your Highness, when all is said and done, when you come visit, if I am around, I would like a excerpt from you of your memory of her for her story in Yulna.
He'll nod to that and say, "You can take every memory I have of them. Everything they did deserves to be remembered."
Lorelai just nods.
Is there anything else that you guys have to discuss with?
Can I just pull Klopp into a hug?
Yeah, of course you can.
Laura's gonna pull Klopp into a hug. Like one of those just really tight. And it's just gonna go, "It's okay if you're not okay. I'm not." And I think I knew her for less time than you did. So
He kind of laughs at that, like not like a haha, more like just like that kind of like little kind of like shocked, almost like chuckled exhale. And it says, "They were the kind of person that I don't think it mattered how long you were their friend. You either were or you weren't."
no. Yeah.
I only knew them for a couple of days, and I could see the love that everyone held for them.
She was the best one out of all of us. And if you ever want to talk about her, you can. With me. I should have been more clear about that. You can. It would actually help with her story. And making sure she lives on through that.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you guys have to say to the king?
I don't think so.
I do have a funny thing out of character I need to point out. When Clock was like, every memory about her needs to be remembered or something, my first memory that came up was when she made him kiss a horse. I thought the horse was talking to, or the horse was talking to him.
God, what did you do to this poor boy?
Fucking,
A lot of things.
What did they not do to him? Like, not even just Ela.
Toyo Coco made him scared of sheep.
The Grrrl squad as a unit have done more to wreck this boy's sleeping pattern than Kesselys ever could.
Oh.
But we also adopted him as
They also-
like our son. We love him.
With this almost kind of like bittersweet but verging on the side of sweet moment, with you guys knowing what your next step is, with Klopp being told about his friend, I think this is now a nice wee place to wrap.
Yeah.
And for next session, I don't know why I said for next session, that was not the start of the sentence I had intended. And we'll leave it there for next session. Now, if I'm to understand correctly, after this it's going to be disguising Lorelei then going to where this dragon is.
No.
Disguising
we gotta deal with my
Lorelei,
sister first.
And then going to your sister.
going to Coco's. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll need Raven regardless.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We need
Next,
Sunflower and Raven.
next session when we come back, if we've got Sunflower there, we'll do Sunflower and Raven going to meet the Shades. Then we come back into, we'll do you guys speaking to Lorelei's sister at Koyo Coco's, and then we'll go from there. What I will do is, just in case it does get to the point where we do go to deal with that dragon, for, trigger warnings in case this does come up, description of charred corpses and potentially combat that could lead to character. At this level, any combat could lead to a character death or whatnot, but that's what we're going to leave it at there. I'm not going to give an end credit scene, guys, because I like where that has kind of rounded there. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to say thanks for everybody that came to see us today. If you like what you have seen today, please do go and check out all of our social medias. We have them all at this point. I think pretty much if you go to any social media and type in World Tree Quests, you'll find us. One thing that I've only just looked at the chat there, I have to keep in mind there, that should the next time you guys come into any kind of gold or treasure or rewards, Madness, Diamond, one of our players,
We
from
have two
Thursday,
then.
you guys have two. So
Because last time we got one also.
Thanks,
I
Diamond.
have a plan now. I have a plan now.
Dragon
Oh
Horde?
God.
I have a plan. Well, most likely the next kind of pile of gold that you guys are going to come up against is going to be a Dragon's Horde. So I now have a plan. It's not a great plan. It's probably not a well thought out plan, but it's a plan nonetheless. So thank you very much for Diamond for redeeming those shiny and golds.
Thank you, Diamond.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Diamond. Love you.
If you would like to see the stuff that I do by myself, you can come and check out my social medias. You can check out my TikTok at Son of Asgard. I say this every time. I have drafts. I promise. I just haven't got around to posting them. But I promise I will. I will get around to posting them. Any of my other social medias, if you find them, no you didn't. My mother's an Irish Catholic. I'm going to pass over very quickly to all my cast members and let them, plug anything they want to plug. Ellie, do you have anything that you would like to plug at all?
Only thing is that I am working on setting up my stream stuff again. I've been having some difficulty in trying to with new computer getting things set up, and then I'm waiting on my friend who is an artist to get me overlay stuff. But if you want to follow me at twitch.tv/Ellie the Small with an that's
SMOL.
Yeah. Then you can catch me playing. I like a lot of Nancy Drew kind of puzzle games. I also play some Stardew Valley. I have recently been requested to stream House Flipper, so I might be playing that.
Astrid.
And there's an Astrid. But yeah, follow me there if like you like kind of cozy games. And maybe you'll see some Phasmophobia or like, Lethal Company or something too. We'll see.
We need to play Phas again.
Thank you very much for that, Ellie. Thank you. Moving on quickly, AK, do you have anything that you would like to plug at all?
Yes. I know I keep saying this, and I did for a bit. I'm gonna start streaming again. GTA stuff, Helldivers 2, pretty much any game that I'm playing. One of my friends got me into Dead by Daylight, so there's gonna be a lot of Dead by Daylight streams. The new killer is actually fun to play. If I do main killer, I'm one of the fun killers, so come watch me just annoy the crap out of the survivors.
Can't wait to see it.
And it's twitch.tv/AK Warlock.
I haven't seen the new killer, so I'm excited to have a look at this.
He's creepy.
Astrid, are you okay, darling? Last and most certainly not least, her lovely attack on Morgan. Is there anything that you would like to plug at all?
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky at Attack on Morgan. I do cool D&D and cosplay content. You can also catch me Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over on the Dice and Autism channel as a part of the new Rawless campaign. That's twitch.tv/Dice and Autism. It's a really fun time over there. Things are crazy. We had 2 really big plot twists for my character get revealed last session. It was wild. Obviously, you can find me here. You can also find me on the Pick Your Poison Productions Twitch and YouTube channel. I do the roguelike rumbles. I do the Rumble Ventures, which are sort of like little one-shots within the world to explore the characters outside the rumbles. And I am also part of Dreadful over there, which is same characters, different universe, and we play a different horror-themed TTRPG every time we play. It's kind of like a Scooby Gang situation. It's really fun. That's Pick Your Poison Productions on Twitch and YouTube. You should also check them out because they do really cool, interactive, immersive, live TTRPG events as well as streaming, and they're a great company. You can also, I believe there's a video going up on the Pluto Cleric channel. I did a Thirsty Sword Lesbians one-shot over there, which honestly I think is my new favorite TTRPG. It's pretty incredible. It was very fun. It was very gay. It was a really great time. You guys check that out. I have some things in the works that haven't been announced, so I can't talk about them yet. Also, if you're going to WonderCon at the end of March, in like 2 weeks, you can find me there. I'll be there all 3 days. I've got a really cool cosplay lineup that I haven't announced yet. But Friday, I'm going to be debuting my Captain Carter, which is literally a dream cosplay of mine. Saturday, I have a very secret, special D&D themed cosplay. And that's all I'll say about that one. And then Sunday, I will be Imogen from Campaign 3 of Critical Role. So you can find me there if you see me. Say hi. Yeah, that's it for me.
Fantastic. Well, if that's it from all of my players, and that's everything from me, then I'm going to say thank you very much for coming to see us, guys. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on Twitch, Twitter, and on YouTube. With me today, we've had my lovely cast. We have had Ellie the Small, we have had AK Warlock, we've had Attack on Morgan, and for the last little point, we've had Astrid. From all of us here at World Tree Quests, good night, stay safe. Remember to ease 17-year-olds into it when you're going to put them on the throne. And also, do not pull a finny. Good night, folks. Good night. Astrid, you say bye-bye? You say bye-bye?